Hello everyone, welcome to my Japanese progress update video number 12. This means that I've been doing this series for a year now and I'm really pleased. I wasn't sure when I started this series that I would last for a year, which is a long time, and just so you know, I am not planning on stopping there. I will definitely carry on making videos for this series, so if you enjoy it, please do consider subscribing so you don't miss a single video. So in this video, I wanted to really focus on all the progress and all the sort of breakthroughs that I've done with Japanese in this year, because I think it's very important not to forget to praise yourself and acknowledge all the efforts you've done while practicing a skill, such as me learning Japanese. And in fact, it's something that I recommend you do for any aspect of your life. It doesn't have to be only language learning. So the first progress I think I've made with Japanese is I have now a better understanding of the sentence structure in Japanese. So I didn't start from scratch when I did this video series, but I have to say my understanding of how a sentence was built, especially the word order when you had many elements in a sentence, was kind of weak, and I didn't really have an instinct for it, while now I feel like I can more comfortably sort of work out where I should put things in a sentence, which was not as obvious when I started. And I think what really helped was to use a textbook such as Japanese for Busy People, because even though this textbook is not perfect, and I've completed it, which I will talk about in a second, but even though the book wasn't perfect, I still think it was really helpful to really nail the sentence structure in Japanese. I mean, of course, I'm still a beginner. I'm not saying I'm fluent in Japanese, but I'm convinced that I have a good foundation of beginner grammar in Japanese, and I'm starting to get a good amount of vocabulary under my belt, which is really nice, because I feel like I can express more things now, which is definitely a great feeling. Something else that has helped is also using Anki, because what I've been doing is, alongside Japanese for Busy People, I'm also using a deck which covers all the grammar and the vocab from the textbook, and just practicing the flashcards has really helped me practicing, translating the sentences from English to Japanese, not Spanish, and from Japanese to English, because I kind of need to focus on the word order when I'm doing that, and I think that really has helped. So if you want to practice sentence structure, using Anki and flashcards can be one way of doing it. I'm not saying that's the only way, but it definitely helps, I think. Another big achievement for me was to complete RTK, so remembering the kanji, which I've talked a lot in that video series. And this has been a really great achievement for me, because it's something that is quite difficult. A lot of people give up when they started. They find it very boring and repetitive, which I think it is, to be fair. But I definitely see the benefit of having done that now. And even though I still feel like I have too many reviews at the moment, I still have about 70, 90 reviews a day, which I think is still quite a lot, and I'm hoping it will sort of go down in the next few months. But I definitely see the benefit of it, because now, even though I can't read the kanji fluently, I can read a few, but not many, I can't read the 2,200 kanji that I've learned using the deck, but I feel like that's helped me a lot, because sometimes when you see a word written in kanji and you don't know how to pronounce it, just by knowing the kanji, you can sort of guess the meaning of the word. Not always, but in basic text anyway, I sometimes manage to sort of work out the meaning of the word. And also what I've been trying to do to have that extra practice is, on the deck that I use for the book Japanese for Busy People, I try to replace as many kanji as possible. Words that are written kana. I try to replace as many sort of kana characters with kanji. And I think that's helped me to sort of try to learn the reading of a few kanji. So it's still a work in progress, and I'm sure I'll be at it for the next 2 or 3 years or more. But it's definitely something that's quite nice to be able to read authentic Japanese text, even though it's basic Japanese. But just because it's basic doesn't mean it shouldn't be seen as progress or achievement, in my opinion. And speaking of textbooks, so as I said, I finished Japanese for Busy People, which I've been using for a year now. I wasn't really quick with it. It's not like I was doing it every day and I was being slow. It's just that there are some days where when I used it, and others when I didn't, for many reasons anyway. But that means that now I can move on to Japanese from zero, which I've been talking about a lot. And I kept saying that I was going to use it, but because I was finishing the first textbook, I didn't didn't think it was a good idea to be doing 2 books, and I don't know for you, but I just felt like it was just too much at the same time to do 2 textbooks. So I just thought it was important for me to complete the textbook first, then work my way through the deck, which I'm halfway through now. I think I've done 55%. So I've got 45% of unseen words, so words I still need to learn and that haven't come up yet. And anyway, I'm just really happy about being able to finally start on Japanese from zero. I'm not sure yet if the book 2 is going to be too easy for me or not, but at least something that I will probably be able to take away from it is to be able to read my katakana and write it better, because as much as I can pretty much read katakana, it takes me much more time to read it than hiragana, because usually beginners start with hiragana and that's just the easiest to read, and then katakana is kind of left on the side, which is not a great thing because Japanese uses a lot of katakana, so it's very important for me to learn them because that will just help me. But hopefully after I've covered Japanese from zero book 2, I'll be better with a katakana and I'll be able to write it more easily as well. At least I hope so, but obviously I will let you know about my progress with that. And let's move on to the next point, which is that my speaking is sort of, I wouldn't say problematic, although I don't know, because I haven't really put it into practice. But that's kind of normal, I think, because I'm still a beginner and there aren't many things I can say yet in Japanese, except from sort of functional language, like, how do I get to this, or can you tell me where this is, or, that kind of very basic things. I mean, not that basic, but you know what I mean. So I haven't really focused on my speaking, but I'm going to Japan in 4 months, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to put into practice what I'll be learning, because I still have 4 months to go. So I'm hoping to make a lot of progress in those 4 months, and again, I will let you know. Hopefully I'll be able to shoot some videos in Japan and maybe do a Japanese progress update review video in Japan. That'd be very exciting. So stay tuned and you'll see. So these have been, in my opinion, my main successes in Japanese. There were other small ones, which I can maybe talk about a bit later, but I think these were the things I was the most proud of. And yeah, as I said at the beginning of the video, it's very important to praise yourself, because no matter what you do, there's always going to be something good that you've done. And I really want to focus on the positives. Not that I have a lot of negatives. I have to say, I haven't felt really negative about Japanese at all. Like sometimes it can be frustrating when I do my reviews and I forget kanji, but I always try to, be positive as much as possible, because it just makes the experience more pleasant for me. If Japanese was for me something that was kind of anxiety inducing, it wouldn't be fun, of course. But overall, I know I still have a long way to go, so I'm definitely not going to stop there. There's still going to be a lot of Japanese studying this year. In fact, Japanese has been my main focus. I'm not really practicing any other languages at the moment because that's just what I enjoy. Sometimes people say, oh, you should be studying 2 languages at the same time, and that's not the reason why I'm only focusing on Japanese, because if I wanted to, I would do other languages. I just don't feel like doing other languages. But anyway, one sort of huge benefit I've been taking out of doing Japanese every day and practicing every day no matter what, and if you're the kind of person that struggles with motivation and constancy, then definitely check out my video about unmotivation, which I will link down there below, or maybe on the i if I figure out how to do that. But I think one benefit was that I held myself accountable every day, and that's quite a nice feeling, because it does mean sometimes that I need to find motivation to do it, and that can be a struggle, but once you've done it, you feel so empowered. And I think having this discipline is definitely something you can transfer to other aspects of your life, in terms of being resilient and not giving up even when stuff gets hard, I guess. So to end this video, I just wanted to sort of give my targets for next month, because I try to give targets to myself every month. Sometimes I forget, but anyway, so my targets for next month will be to get started on Japanese from zero book 2, and hopefully improve my katakana writing and reading. Also keep on doing Anki as usual. I don't think Anki is something you should stop unless you're at a very high level, but definitely in my case, I'm not planning on stopping it. Something else I want to also do is Rosetta Stone. I really enjoy Rosetta Stone. I talked about it on a video I did about my top 5 apps for 2020, and I definitely recommend it. I think it's great, especially if you're sort of at a false beginner sort of stage, because I don't think it's great for beginners personally, but if you're at my level where you have, a grasp of Japanese already, it's definitely a great tool to practice vocab again and again in a different way, also learning more vocab and just doing different things to improve and revise as well. I think it's good to focus on learning new things, but reviewing all the time is very important so you don't forget what you've learned essentially. And the last thing that I want to do this month as well is to use Netflix for language learning, the extension for Chrome, which I again talked about in my top 5 apps video. And I will try to watch Terrace House as recommended by Matt vs Japan. He has great content, by the way, so if you are interested in learning Japanese but you really want the details on how to learn it and go about it, I definitely recommend watching his videos. And I will try to watch this show, even though I do sort of know that it's going to be a bit difficult, but the main thing I want to get out of it is to just learn some phrases or useful vocab, and also get exposed to sort of more informal Japanese, because what I've been doing has been to learn very formal Japanese, and I want to be able to have the two, because even though I think it's important as a beginner to only focus on one form just because it's simpler, I guess. Not that you have to, but for me, I think it was simpler. I also want to gradually also be sort of used to speaking and understanding at least more casual Japanese, because they are completely different. And yes, I'm hoping that with this TV show I will be able to get some more Japanese out of, or at least just enjoy something in Japanese if it fails, I guess. Again, I will let you know, but I'm really excited about starting it, and I just was waiting to finish my textbook before starting it to free up a bit of time, even though I guess I'm replacing that textbook with another. But anyway, it just made sense for me to do it like that. So yeah, that's essentially it for this video. I will see you next month for another Japanese progress update video, and next week for another regular video on my channel. And bye!